All right, so this is the Psychotic Strength Podcast. This is November 27th, right? Did I say 27th?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
This is Tyler Toby Townsend.
Tayler Summers.
All right, so we got Taylor in the house today. He's actually one of the people I train. I don't know how to say that. I was going to say students, but I don't
You
want
could
to
say
sound like
student.
that. I guess so.
You're
one
my Mr.
of the
Miyagi.
students. Yeah.
Teaching me how to paint.
Teaching you how to paint, right. Teaching you how to pick up heavy shit is what I'm doing. This is the first one of these guys, one of my students that I've had on here.
Mm-hmm.
He's pretty serious about it, and we'll have Justin on here too.
Yeah.
Just
he'll
make
be
sure
he'll
he
be
knows.
he'll be hearing this. God damn it.
He wasn't here Friday, which is when I invited you on, because I
did
thought
it for
would
the
be
shirt.
kind of fun. Right, and I'm gonna get you a shirt.
All right.
Sorry, man. I was gonna grab it on the way out. I totally forgot. So I texted you this morning at like 9:45 and was like, "Are you sure you're coming?"
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear back like immediately, so I set my alarm for 10:30. I was like, I'll check at 10:30. If he hasn't answered by then, I'm not going.
Low expectations.
Well, just a lot of people don't show.
Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit about that, but which is pretty weird to me.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand.
It's a cool opportunity. Like I've always wanted. It's like, okay, I got to start somewhere.
It's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
Just having conversation.
Just your first time. You gotta break that for me.
Yeah. Oh, I
Be
got
my
I get
first.
to pop your cherry.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
First recording.
All right. So so gym update. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Mine's going pretty well ish. I'm lifting consistently again every day, well at least 4 days a week. But my shoulder, I really fucked up my shoulder a couple weeks ago.
Really?
I couldn't even do shoulder day on Friday when you guys were all
You
doing
hid
it.
that from us.
I didn't. I actually said it to
Oh.
somebody. Somebody was like, "Well, did you do
girls.
this before?" Probably. And I was like, "No, actually, I couldn't even overhead press. Like I'm just in so much pain right now. It's just constantly. It feels like it's in my joint. I don't really know what's going on, but
Okay.
it's been 2.5 weeks now. So now I think it's time to get it checked out. I mean, because some pain will just kind of go away.
Yeah.
But this isn't, and it's affecting like my sleep, everything. So I try to do some pull-ups, and it actually made it feel a little bit better with the overhand. Underhand just made it feel 100 times worse. So I was like, fuck it. But that's as far as I got. I got to like 65%. I did one set, and I could barely get up 5 of that.
For the overhead.
Yeah, for strict press.
Wow.
And so I was like, no. Like, just not doing it. And it was just because my arm kept overcompensating.
Yeah, of course.
And, like, turning all the way in. And it was just, they were
when
bad
it does
lifts.
that's when you were feeling that pain, is that underhand anyway.
Right.
Rotating
So it was just, yeah, it's bad. I can barely, like, get my hand over my head right now. And it is what it is. But other than that, all my lifts I'm just pushing through. It's just shoulders. It's a direct shoulder injury. So doing shoulders was not working out for me. But I did all the chest, fucking deadlifts, squats. I did all that shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Getting it done before
Yeah.
class.
I'm trying.
So you can be pumped.
Right. I'm not just pumped either. Some of these things I have to like figure out how the fuck we're doing in class because we don't have all the equipment, you know. And I'm trying to make it work.
You'll know it in your head, but then you got to think, well, I got to do it real quick to. How can I re-explain this to people who haven't done it before?
Right. Like doing an incline without inclines. We had to stack plates underneath it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I had to figure that shit out, and it was not fun for me. But, anyways, I'd rather spend my time figuring your guys' class out and making your shit smooth. You know.
Yeah.
So, so how's it been for you? How do you feel?
Wow. It's been insane. I mean, the change of going to something other than Snap Fitness.
Yeah.
People that actually know how to lift things, that it's just a world of a difference. Something I needed because I was tired of being just the strongest guy that worked out at that time, because I knew just based off everything I see online and keep up on, I know I'm not strong in relative to like the world of lifting. And so, and I just needed to move up from there.
Well, so when you say that, I mean, you're still in the top 5%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? First of all, you're going to the gym consistently.
Yeah.
Your lifts are pretty damn good already, right?
That's good to hear.
Yeah. So you have a good base, a really good base. And a lot of your lifts, like, I don't have a lot of correction for you. You usually are
A few
doing it pretty
cues
well.
that I just need someone to say in that moment.
Right, and that's hard too because even I still do a few things that I shouldn't be doing, and that's because I don't really have anybody watching me.
Yeah.
You know? So no matter what, you're going to lift the way you lift, and we'll figure out how to work around that shit. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. I mean, being consistent, you know, the fact that now that my wife's going to the gym, I have a much better excuse of leaving 4 days a week.
Yeah.
She's loving it. I mean, she's never been into it like this before, and she's getting that addiction because she's starting to like show me stuff or like, well, I thought about this, I thought about that. I'm like, good, I want you to.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm so angry I'm not just strong enough. I said, Liz, you've been lifting for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
She's got the drive.
It's gonna happen.
She's get strong. She's definitely. I don't know how much she eats. If she's one of those people who just eats and eats and eats and it doesn't matter.
Yes, that's what happened. That's why I got fat when we met, because like she'll eat Taco Bell every day and it's all good. And I grew up a lot of homemade meals, never eating out, so it was a big change in my life.
Yeah, those
and
are
she
hard.
can handle it, and it's so we're changing to a lot more homemade meals. We're both taking turns having a lot of fun doing that, and just focusing. Like I'm telling her to do what I've been telling myself, and it's like, don't try to think of the calories yet. Just think about the protein you need, and the calories will follow.
Right.
As long as you eat a whole meal with whole ingredients, you're gonna get the calories in if you eat enough protein.
Right. And then you're not at the point where all that stuff matters.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like you're really just you need food.
Yeah.
A lot of food, a lot of protein, and then when you start figuring out like when you start plateauing because of your food,
Yeah.
then we can start talking nutrition. And I still want to do one of those nutrition classes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'll have Joey come in and do that because he's a fucking master.
I was waiting to see one of your boys are coming in to drop in and
I don't know, man.
say hi
so
to us.
having them come in, we got to have more equipment.
Sure.
To be able to do that. Like, I mean, I can't have them. We don't even have stones, you know. So like, I can't have them show off with just a bar.
Sure.
Maybe one of the powerlifting guys I know can come in and show off some
It's
of that.
amazing
shit,
how
but
much we were able to do with what we have.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, you don't need crazy amount of stuff, you know, but some things you do need to accomplish certain things, right?
Of
like,
course.
it's just the way it goes. Man, see, I've been scratching my head, dude. I can't even get my arm up.
Damn.
But
Where was I?
yeah, you're talking about Liz. You guys are making full meals.
Yes,
getting the calories
the
in.
food. Because I mean, I'm just rounding in my first year of lifting, so I can still pull that in.
Yeah.
Do you want me to kind of go into like the history on that, like kind of my lifting where I started?
Let's
with
do that. Let's
Figured
see where you
eventually-
started. Because I know you're excited. You signed up for your first comp.
Yeah. Oh
right?
boy.
So we're really getting into it.
Oh, heck
I can
yeah.
see how serious you're getting. The fact that you even asked about Liz, like, is she wanting to compete?
She does, and now she's kind of like, she's like, you brought it up, and you know that's all I've been thinking about, right?
Right.
Because I told her, I said it's weight class. Like you don't have to be big. You know, Liz is under 120 pounds.
Right.
And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Like there's girls your size that have a whole separate like set of weights. You're not lifting the 250-pound stone like I'll be out there. Like you don't need to worry about that, and it totally changed her mindset.
Right, because the weight
Completely.
class thing really helps. You know, it makes it so that everybody
people
can
get in it.
compete. Yeah,
Which is what Strongman needs, is more people into it.
absolutely.
See that growth.
But yeah, hit me with how'd you start? What got you started?
All of my lifting. Okay. So in high school, I played sports. I was pretty athletic. I was very involved in my school. Growing up, I did a lot of baseball. Motocross was my main thing growing up.
I heard that's like one of the roughest on your body.
If you do it right,
Yeah.
you're sitting like in a wall sit position for like 45 minutes. You know, you're bouncing. It's insane. But grew up doing that. Like I said, a little bit of baseball. Got to high school. I tried a little bit of everything. I did golf, football, baseball, and soccer. Football I was good at, but I wasn't into it the way my family wanted me to be.
Right.
So I said, nah. They weren't much into soccer, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the sport that they're not really into and try it out. Because one of my friends who was much bigger than me, he was much heavier. He wanted to do it to lose weight. I'm like, if he can do it, I should do it too. So I got a lot more fit. My lowest I got was about like 197, which for me was pretty light. And I got into a little bit of lifting. I kind of, my senior year, I was in the gym every day. I didn't know. Now I realize I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
Like, I never did squats until like 8 months ago. Like, I never did them. And so I just did a little bit of that. It felt good. It was more of like how it made me feel. It was more of just exercise. It was really, would consider now as much of lifting, just being active.
Right.
On and off over the years, did a little bit of gym for like 2 months and then quit for like a year because I get busy or injured. And then about a year ago, I was just, I just needed to change a lot in my life because I got super lazy. I was up to 300 pounds, but I couldn't tie my shoes. I couldn't get up off the floor. And I got 2 kids. And I was like, I'm not going to be that dad. I didn't want to be because then they can't do anything. And so just this podcast popped up as like a recommended. And so I never listened to podcasts. So I'm like, okay, it's cool. And it's called Norse Mentality by that guy in North Carolina. And it just clicked. It really like made me realize like this guy's saying it to me, like the way he's like yelling into it is like what I needed. Not to sugarcoat anything, but just like one of his big mantras is like abandon modern culture because people are just too damn distracted. You just need to get outside. You need to feel the ground. You just need to work out every day. Be the man you want to be. I was like, damn. So like I changed everything. It really helped. That's when I started going to the gym, like consistent. My first 6 months at the gym, so that was about a year ago. So first 6 months in, I got crazy good lifts. I started just feeling good. I was gaining strength so quickly. Hit things I never hit before, and it just felt good. Right. And then one of my little brothers, I was going to bring this up. It's hard, but he was in a car accident. Right. He rolled his truck on I-5. Didn't make it. So like for me, it was like I need to change my shit. Like because I was starting to lean off of working out a little bit. 6 months in, I was just like just going with the flow. I was like, damn. Like, he wasn't satisfied with his life yet. He's 24. He's 2 years younger than me.
Jeez. That's young.
Yeah. Because I have 4 little brothers. He was the oldest of them. We're all 2 years apart.
Okay.
So, I was like, I got to do something. So, I got to change. So, I just started eating better. Those 6 months working out, I was still heavy. I was maintaining my weight. I would drop down to about 270-ish. Okay. But I was maintaining it and getting my strength. And I was like, then at that point, after what happened with Dustin, I was like, I want to hit closer to my goals. I need to push myself harder. So I started losing some weight. I did a lot more cardio. I kind of stepped off from lifting heavy, just kind of maintaining my strength. I trained to climb Mount St. Helens, so I summited that. That was part of my thing I wanted to do.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. It's one of the things I wanted to do for him. The guy I was with, he had a little bit of troubles. It took us 12 hours up and down.
Jesus.
He had some problems, and I almost had to carry him down. It was bad.
Oh, no.
His feet were real messed up, and he wasn't really prepared that much. He didn't bring much water. He was wearing jeans, buckle jeans.
Oh, Jesus.
I was like, dude.
Well, I did. I tried to do Mount Hood.
Wow.
I tried.
That's nuts.
I got probably about halfway up and came back down. Was like, no.
That's still pretty good, though.
I'll never do it again. It was the worst experience.
So I did Mount St. Helens first because it's the shortest.
Is it the shortest?
Well, yeah, half of it's blown off.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that. Well, this guy I was with, like, I didn't realize, but I agreed to do it, and I kind of try and keep my word, right? Like, no matter what, if I say I'm going to do something, I try and do it. And he's like, oh yeah, because I used to like go out for a weekend and I'd just climb all the Tetons and like I'd do that, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, you mean that thing people die on all the time?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's just what I did.
You gotta be committed for that.
I was like, dude, so this guy's been like doing this forever.
Yeah.
The hard part was he brought like his 10-year-old son with us.
Yeah.
they made it to the top.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
that fucked me up a little bit.
That's nuts.
Dude, by the time I got to my truck, my legs were shaking. I could barely walk. Like I could not. If I would have got up there, I would not have got back down.
For Mount St. Helens, they say it's hard, but it's beginner if you're going to climb a mountain. It's like 4.8 miles from where you park to the summit.
Okay.
Not too horrible. I was the biggest guy up there.
Jeez.
There's a bunch of skinny people who just all past them.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you could tell they were looking at me and they were proud. You could,
Yeah.
you can see it when you're a big guy. You can see that from people.
That's like
if I'm just passing people.
Like that big ass dude in the gym. That some people were like, "Oh, what are you doing here, fatty?" You're like, "Fuck you. He just started.
Yeah.
You leave him alone. He's gonna be great." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like that kind of look.
That's why
you
that
know?
felt good.
Yeah.
I put extra weight in my pack just to make it harder.
Jeez. Okay.
So I had a 40-pound pack climbing up there.
Wow.
So I was like, hell yeah. But anyway, so I did that, and I just wanted to focus more on, like, you know what, I'm going to keep the ball rolling. Like, if I want to push my limits to prove to my brother that I should be doing more with myself,
Right.
I wanted to. And I was at the point at the gym then, because I wasn't really lifting much more than I was my first 6 months. I'm still at the same strength. It's like, well, I either kind of just back off of this and do other things, or I just commit to, like, a bigger gym. Yeah. And that's when I saw Justin, my coworker that goes to the gym there too. He was telling me about it. He was like, oh yeah, because I saw him, he had this glass bowl of, like, chicken and rice. Yeah. I was like, dude, what are you meal prepping for? Like, it looks good, because I know he used to not, like, always eat the best food.
Right.
And he's like, yeah, and he told me about this. I was like, you asshole, like, you know I like Strongman stuff, because I love watching that stuff on TV.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, this is the gym. It's my girlfriend's dad's gym, and this is the guy. You should go listen to his podcast.
Oh
okay. And that's all that. He's like, you'll really like him. Like, just listen to his podcast. I've been listening. I was like, okay, cool. I'll see what I think of this guy. And I started listening in, and I was like, okay, this guy.
Yeah. It's hard, man. People are like, hey, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, fuck. Like,
yeah.
What you listen to?
Which episode?
Yeah. Because there's a lot, man. And
sure.
so, like, the first season, there was a few, like, they'd be great fucking episodes, or they'd be kind of shitty, you know? Like, it was super up and down. I was still trying to figure out how to even do this.
Yeah.
One of the biggest ones still to this day, it was Chris's. Mm-hmm. I interviewed Chris De La Rocha, and it's still a huge hit. There's a lot of people listening.
I gotta actually go listen to it then. I didn't know you had them on.
That one, and then I went to a powerlifting meet at Hardcore Barbell, and that one is like number 2.
Nice.
I've listened to, and that was like first season and second season, and then this third season is just, it's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a lot more episodes in this one.
Give a good choice though for people.
It's a lot of fun, man. You know, I mean, maybe they see somebody they know and they want to hear it, and it's
yeah, sure, fun. Or not.
Or skip that.
I don't know any of the shit on yours. I'm like, oh, this guy, all right, cool. Let's learn about him a little bit.
Yeah, it's there was 1, 2 relationships are hard, which is pretty big, and that was when I don't know if you heard Brandon on any of these ones yet. Brandon Wink, he's been on quite a few episodes.
Okay.
He's getting a divorce right now. He's dealing with all that shit. But we had both, like, I just brought up how shit my relationship was, like, and I want out, and like all this other crap, and then he's like about to cry. I'm like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, what's going on? And then it turns out he's like right in the same boat, so right there with me. That. And it was really cool, man. But
yeah, so at that point, I wanted to upgrade, so I came here.
Yeah.
And gosh, I'm in it a month and a half now.
Yeah.
Or about almost.
Yeah.
And like I'm feeling good. Like I know, like growing up, just from how I've been, I know I had a natural knack for getting strong.
Right.
So I know I want to like focus and develop it more, because I was like, how strong can I get? It'd be super fun.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking at everybody in the class, and you can tell people who are supposed to be strong and people who just have a good work ethic, right? There's usually they're one or the other. You got both. Yes. Which is good, which is hard to find. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Liz can be real fucking strong. She's busting her ass in there.
I know
she's not skipping anything. I mean, because that's what I'm looking at.
She's going to go places for it.
I'm watching people. I don't know if you know, but some people are skipping shit, like skipping rounds and all that other stuff. I'm counting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's the thing. If you want to do that, that's up to you, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm here to show you how to get strong.
Sure.
I'm not here to make you.
I caught myself skipping a little bit on those ab workouts at the beginning.
Yeah.
So that's when I committed to just doing morning and night at home also.
Yeah.
So if I'm skipping out on it in the gym, well, I'm just telling myself, like, screw you, dude. You're going to go do double now at home before you go to the gym. So now you're doing 3 times the ab work.
Good.
Teach me for skipping.
Well, I mean, core's pretty. It's a big deal.
I've noticed it's my weak spot for sure.
Yeah.
And my lifts, it's like, why did I do this? You're like, it's because your core is strong. I was like, oh shit. Like,
Yeah, like
it
you're
is.
leaning forward a little.
Yeah,
like
once I
when-
hit depth on those squats, like, because I only squatted by myself, and like I said, 8 months ago was the first time I squatted. I did 275, and I took a video, and it was a half squat. It wasn't even a real one. I thought, this is dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. And I started feeling good, but now you guys are like, hey, you actually have another inch or 2 left. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? And that's when I start to cave, but it feels good knowing, like, wow, I'm glad that someone showed me I wasn't even doing it right to begin with.
Well, it's hard to figure out yourself, dude. It's extremely difficult. So, I mean, this has been fucking 9 years of me doing this and
Yeah.
trying to figure it all out by myself. And I found out some shit you can't.
Yeah.
You're just not going to see it. But
I just want to ride those beginner
gains.
Those beginner gains a little more because I think I can.
Yeah, you're pretty fucking strong. So once you start hitting 500 and shit, that's when you're going to start plateauing on a few things, and because that's about where you can get. I can see that before there's like going to have to be some personal, like, we're going to have to figure out all of your weaknesses. And so once we get into that, we're probably going to have like people who are training for comps. It's the same thing like in boxing.
Yeah.
The people who are training to train and people who are training to fight, those are going to be different lifts, right? So once we start getting into there and you're getting ready for a competition, you have a few weaknesses, you're probably going to be doing a few things that other people aren't.
Yeah.
Which, that's how it goes, bud. Yeah, like
I'm excited to touch a log or touch a stone
Yeah.
for the first time.
Yeah, we might have to go into hardcore. Just
Yeah.
for like the daily for the day or some
sneak
shit.
in,
And
try it out, get a feel for those, feel a yoke.
it's a
on
lot
me.
of fun, man.
That's the best part. I think that's why so many more people need to be into Strongman because it's for everyone. Anyone can get benefit out of it.
We can move the shit up and down. You know what I mean? Like, we can make anyone fit.
Yeah.
But you just gotta. Most of strongman's like the willpower to move it. You know,
Yeah.
your body could do some crazy shit. You just gotta make it.
Yeah, you've been helping show me that, like, some of it's like mental. Like,
Yeah.
You just did 5 reps of this. How did you fail the 2 reps of this? You know, it's like it's because it's mental block.
Yeah.
Not letting me lift that weight that mathematically should be easy for me when compared side by side.
Right.
So it's cool learning that because I'm like, oh, cool, that's a weak spot. I love finding my weak spots.
It's good to exploit them. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
like I mean,
love
this is
that.
my weakness, and this is what I got to do to fix it. And
Yeah.
it takes a while to figure out, man. But all right, so you're starting to get serious.
Yes.
Right. That's what you're talking about.
Mhm.
And yeah, how do you feel about it? Like,
With that comp coming up in May,
yeah,
May 18th,
March
March.
18th.
Yeah, it is March.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, not May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 months.
2 months difference. Yeah, I'm so excited. Just because watching all that stuff, following people who do that stuff, it's exhilarating.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just excited to get a T-shirt out of it. Like,
Yeah.
like that's always my drive.
So you got 2 little ones, very little.
yes,
Be
4
prepared.
and 1.5.
Be prepared for a full day, 8 to 10 hours.
That's why I'm trying to recruit like my mom to come help Liz.
Yeah.
Watch the kids for that.
Because it is pretty hard to do. Because you have to kind of stay at least a little focused.
Sure. Yeah, I can't.
And
watch them run
they
around.
usually split people, right? Like I always go sit in the stands. I'm always fucking around. I'm everywhere, right?
Okay.
But most of the time, you want to stay mostly with the competitors. You want to be cheering each other on. I would
like
say
that.
early in your career, definitely make some friends. Figure some shit out, especially in novice. This is not working for me. Especially in novice, find those people who are fucking strong.
Yeah.
Figure out what they're doing. Make friends with them because you will be moving up with them.
Yeah.
Because these people who are like top 5, they've either been training a while or this is their first time and they're fucking strong.
Yeah.
Right? So like,
I
get
know
into
it's
it.
yeah. I was looking at the roster, especially for my group. I mean, the 220 plus novice group. It's huge. There's a lot of people in it.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. I feel like we're all
What does
the
it
beginners.
stop at?
I didn't see. I recheck just to look, just because I get excited.
Yeah, no, novice. They make bigger.
Really?
They make them a little bigger sometimes,
Yeah.
and just to kind of fit more people in.
I figure it's mainly the fat dudes class, like that are still newer to it.
Yeah.
220 plus. Okay, cool. That's gonna be most of the guys getting into strongman.
Yeah. So
I love to like be the positive guy in the field. I've always been that. Like I'm always smiling. Like as you can probably tell in the gym.
Yeah.
Like I'm always finding a way to make everyone laugh. So I'd be so excited to cheer. Like I recognize that opportunity where, you know, with a connection like you in it too. Like shit, I'm gonna go meet all of Tyler's people.
Yeah.
Just so I can shake some hands and see how they're doing.
well, you're going to see some
Get a feel
people
for
there
the
that
scene.
you're just like, God damn. Like either you're going to be like, dude, you're fucking giant, and then you're going to watch them lift and be like, really? And then you're going to see some people who are fucking tiny who are just crushing shit and be like, damn, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. Yeah, that's exciting. Not to let it get not to get like my low self-esteem in the way.
Right.
To not feel like, oh, I'm just a beginner.
Well, and then
you know.
that's the thing, you got to understand you are just a beginner.
Yes,
You know, like this is your
accept it.
first one. You're doing this for comp reps. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, because no matter how much I tell you it's going to be different, you're not going to understand until you do it.
Yeah.
How different it is, how distracting, how just like,
Yeah.
how much more you can do when you know that this is your only fucking shot.
Yeah.
You have 1 minute to do this, and after that, you're done.
Yeah.
That will be tallied, and that is it.
Yeah, if you're not feeling right, you don't get to walk outside and walk back in. You're good.
Right, if it
And
hurts, you
restart.
push through it, and
Yep.
you fucking finish your day.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Yeah, so usually for comps too, people have their ways of getting ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's got the way, like they take a week off or they take 2 days off or whatever they do, right?
Yeah.
For me, I take an entire week off before competition. You're not going to get stronger before a week before. There's
Yeah.
no fucking way. You're
Yeah.
just not. So my thought is I'd rather completely rest. And the reason I figured this out was I was lifting 7 days a week. Fucking for like the first 3 years I was lifting. Every fucking day I was in the gym, 9 p.m. Every day.
Yeah.
And then I went on a 2-week trip to El Salvador. They have no gyms over there, or gyms that just aren't worth traveling to.
Yeah.
You know, so I was like, fuck it. I was like, great. Now I can't work out. I was super pissed. I came back and I was stronger than when I left because I let my body completely rest and completely rebuild. And it was just a little eye-opening for me.
Yeah. I learned that lesson when I first started working out last year. Like in December, I went to Vegas last year, and so for that week, it was just there's a lot of stuff we were doing, so I didn't lift at all when I was in Vegas. I was freaking out. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose everything because I didn't know. And then I came back to the gym that next week. I'm like, oh, like this is easier now. I can get more reps in on this same weight that I was struggling last week. So I learned
It's
that.
weird, right? You would think just working harder is going to do it, but you got to work smarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now that's why I work out 4 days a week. Like I don't try and push it more than that. If we're doing Strongman Saturday or something like that, that's fine. But like, I'm not trying to do it consistently.
It's a whole body course. It's not really, you're not really tearing too much, right?
Yeah.
I gotta make it to one of those.
The Strongman
It's
ones?
hard.
I mean, that's the thing. They're not super exciting right now.
Yeah.
Just because we don't have a lot.
People
But
don't really know anything.
we were doing like tug of war. We did fucking sandbag to shoulder, which was
I
pretty
like that.
difficult to teach. The sandbags are just a bitch.
I
especially
learned
the
that
ones we
from
have.
a video with it was Juji Mufu
Yeah.
with Martine Sleacy's.
Okay.
They were hanging out, and he was showing how to, once you get the sandbag up, how to place your hands for the rotation onto the shoulder.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I
People
love
don't
that
understand. Like they think, okay, I can just
You're not going
throw
to
it.
muscle and,
Like
and bump
you
it up.
can't. You know, you have to flip it onto your fucking
Mm-hmm.
shoulder, and it's crazy. Like there's so many ways to do everything. Like a circus dumbbell. Some people stack it, which is like this, where it's almost like it's pointed directly up. It's almost sideways, so that all they have to do is just turn it.
Well, you see, like the number one guy in the world right now for that, Alexei Novikov.
Okay.
He's tiny,
Yeah.
and when he does it, his body is completely 90 degrees because he just does so good at hitting that drive, and then he drops to lockout and then stands up after his arm's locked out. But the dude's 90 degrees to the ground.
Yeah.
But he's beating everyone in it right now.
Right.
Little dude.
And that's the thing. How's he stacking it when he puts it? Is he putting it behind his neck? Or is he like standing it straight up and down?
I think more up and down because that's why he's just able to do one direction, moves straight down with his body. Just 90 degrees down.
That's the way Joe was trying to teach me how to do it. I'm just terrible at it.
Because something like that, I can see forms a lot of it. Guys will try to use their tricep just to muscle it up. And it's like...
Well, I still do that snap, but what I do is I put it behind my neck. And so it's almost like a squat, like a backwards push press. And I'll dip down and just shove it, and then I'm snapping up. And then I can stand straight up with it. It's almost like a bit of that snatch grip at the top, you know? Like, some people really just try and press the fuck out of it. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to do that, you know? Like, upper body's not my thing. My legs. Yeah. My legs and my back are fucking strong as shit. I
learned all that stuff because I'm just from, like, YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, I love following, like, bigger faces in the scene and just really paying attention to those little things. And it's so crazy how much you can learn. Like, how much I've learned before even moving into those lifts and stuff. Like, overhead press that we did. We did our 1 rep max week, but the week before that was my first... I've only done it, like, once before that, overhead press itself. Okay. I've seen videos on it.
Right.
And that's why I felt comfortable enough to, my second time doing it, maxing with you. Yeah. So that felt good. I just like using those resources.
Right, and that's the thing. I mean, people don't want to like...
don't even know.
If you want to be amazing at something, immerse yourself in it. Mm-hmm. You know, watch these videos, watch what people are doing, figure all that shit out.
Because they all do it differently, so you need to watch all of it.
Right.
Watch the guys in Strongman finals. Each one does it differently.
Well, and the thing is, too, try them all. Mm-hmm. One's going to work for you better than the other ones, man. Like, it just... Like that tip, that tip on the shoulder, on the dumbbell press. Mm-hmm. I can't do it right. I can't. Like, I mean, I can work on it and figure out how, but it just doesn't work for me. I can't fucking get it to do it. And your body's going to be different.
I'm so excited to try that too.
The circus dumbbell?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean,
because I've learned how much of it's form just from the videos. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah. A lot of it is, I'd say, 90% of that one's form. Mm-hmm. That's almost like a fucking Olympic lift right there, you know? And I hate Olympic lifts.
I'm on the same boat as you. Like, I see that stuff, and those guys are way stronger than me, but there's so much momentum.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's cool and all, but it's just the American in me that just says, just do it strict.
Yeah.
Do it right.
Yep. Do it the hard way. Yeah.
Do it the hard way.
Yeah, I like that, man. And that's kind of how I train a lot of shit. But you're also going to learn, like, what your body is capable and incapable of. Yes. You know, what you're like I have no shoulder mobility, you know, like some of that shit really throws me off with some shit. I work on my grip like fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. And one of the main reasons I do is the axle clean and press. Yeah. Because a lot of people have to...
A lot of torn biceps in that move.
Well, they're doing a lot of over-under, right, to get it off the ground, and then they have to switch when they do that. I don't have the shoulder mobility to catch that switch. Yeah. So if I can get this thing up two-handed, like double overhand, I'm going to fucking do that. And I can double overhand on an axle probably about 405.
Very touch an axle, that'd be fun. Well, I think we did. We tried to do
the farmer's carry.
I didn't do that. I hadn't started yet. Okay. But we did the hold on a grip day. Right. And I just, at that point, my grip was shot, so I couldn't really hold it much. But just being able to grab it bigger.
Yeah, so that
girthier.
It's pretty nice. Girthier. Yeah, it's intense to grab one of those. The cool thing with it, though, is that it doesn't spin. You know what I mean? Like, it's just one big-ass piece of steel. Yeah. Versus, like, you do, like, Rolling Thunder. It's more natural. And your hand just, like, turns, and so you're, like, picking up with your fingers, you know? Whereas this one, you can still kind of get your hands underneath it. Nice. But I don't use thumbs.
Because that rotational help will probably take your
Well, there's one
your
less
grip out of
step
it.
involved in a axle clean and press if you're not having to do that hand switch. And the problem I feel with that hand switch is if you miss, you're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You got to start all over. Fuck that. I got this all the way up here, and I can't spin my hand around fast enough, so that's why I'm not getting this lift. It's not because I'm not strong enough to do it. So I just worked on my grip, and now I can pick that shit up and put it on my stomach.
nice.
You know, so
It's gotta be exciting. Yeah, put it on the stomach.
yeah. Everybody thinks that those are going to kill you, you know, but
Well, I mean, that's why Iron Bibby broke that record on the actual clean and press
Yeah.
in Giants Live this year. He's got the biggest belly in the game. He
Yeah.
set it right on it.
he just put it right there. Could have probably taken his hands off the goddamn
I like
thing.
that guy.
Yeah.
He's a
strong
monster.
as fuck,
And then when he
yeah.
talks, he's just a sweet guy.
Yeah. Dude,
I love that.
Wait until you go to these comps and like you're looking at these fucking monsters.
Yeah.
And your first impression is they're just gonna be like, "Fuck you, move!" But they're all like,
Yeah.
"Hey, man, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
You know? Like,
That's
is
so
this
cool.
your first one? That's fucking awesome. Like, I hope
That's
you do
how I'm
great.
just
You
gonna
know?
smile, and everyone's gonna be like, "All right, that guy's cool." He just-
Yeah.
that kid
We're
won't
all
stop
cheering
smiling.
each other on, and it's a lot of
Nice.
fun.
That's super motivating.
One of the main things is I want you to hit that lift. It's going to motivate me to lift more, right?
Yes.
Like I don't want to be the strongest guy just because you didn't push yourself. I want
Yes.
to be the strongest fucking guy.
And if you beat me on it, I want to see you earn it.
Right. Right.
Like, wow, that guy really drove. He earned that lift. He earned that win.
That was Eddie Hall saying that. He's like the fastest guy in the world. Like that's fantastic. But like, there's so many different variables that go into that. But the strongest guy in the world, there's no sugarcoating that.
Yeah.
You are the strongest man in the world. If you picked up one more rep than me.
Yeah.
You win.
Yes.
Right? Try and argue with it. There's no fucking arguing.
I love
I
that.
mean, you can be Bjornsson all day and try and argue that, you know, form or whatever the fuck. But like, if you pick shit up over your head and it works, it works. Like that's how it goes. That's why hitching's allowed. That's why fucking everything's
know.
allowed.
Pitching's an interesting one. I think a lot of guys aren't doing it because they have like a pride in it. I think because they could get more reps in.
Well, it's also a technique thing, right? So hitching works, but it fucks you up. You know, it's gonna fuck up your next lift. Your hams are fucking destroyed.
Sure. Just like the Rogue Invitational when they had they had a deadlift for reps. It was 900 pounds for reps.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that gosh, what's his name? World's strongest gay. What's his name?
Oh, Rob Kearney.
Kearney.
Yeah.
That's the only way he was getting those reps in.
Right.
Is because he was able to hitch it. And they even talked about on there, like if he didn't hitch it, he wouldn't have made his reps.
Yeah.
And so you think about the other guys that he beat in the rep range, because I think he hit 7 reps.
Okay.
And it's like if they would have hitched it, would they have done better?
Well, it's based on how you train.
Mm-hmm.
Are you training to hitch?
I mean, if
Because-
it's not against the rules, fuck it, do it.
well,
Hell
absolutely. But at the same time, like if deadlift's not my weakest thing. I'll hitch when my body makes it happen. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking pound them out normal because that's gonna be the easiest way to get
Sure.
it done and the most efficient. Now, if I have to hitch, I'll lean back into it. I know how.
Yeah,
Right? It's just something I'm only gonna use if I have to.
sure.
But
He did it for a few of those reps, which is why he was able to get to that 7, I think, which is cool.
yeah.
I mean, if it works, it
Well,
works.
did he
It's
start out
legal.
hitching?
The first few, I don't think he did.
Right. So it slows you the fuck down, and it also puts some strain on some muscles that you don't really want it on.
Sure.
You know, like especially if you're doing a walking event after your deadlifts, you don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, it just hurts. You know.
Yeah.
There's also a lot of people like that'll put baby powder all over their legs, right, to help it slide up and down. Well, that baby powder getting in your hands, you're fucked. Now, if you're using straps, it is what it is. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Put baby powder all over yourself. But like, I found out I was doing an axle deadlift, and we put baby powder all over my legs. And if I would have I didn't use the straps to start. I didn't need it. I'm a deadlifter, right? So I'm just banging reps out. Now I'm losing grip because I can't hold on to it because now there's baby powder on it. So now I have to stop and put my straps on and do that. I would have been able to bang them out the whole minute.
It's cool that they're still even in these events. there's still I lost my word. There's still things you can do,
right,
to try to get an edge here and there. God damn it! I'm trying to think of the word.
Well, the thing is, so I would rather not use straps, and the main reason is because they take 15 seconds to put on. Right? That's 15 seconds I could be repping the fuck out of this thing.
Yeah.
If I have to use them, I will. But if I don't, I'm not gonna, because I can rep out a minute of fucking 500 pounds all day. All fucking day, dude. A whole minute of that, I could probably get out 18, 19 of those. You know, like...
Depends on the bar for me, I think.
In a competition, for sure.
Do they use, like, newer bars in the comps?
It depends.
Really?
Like, so whoever's throwing it,
Yeah.
that's their equipment.
Cool.
So a lot of times what people will do is go down to that gym, do a day pass, like a good month before, and figure out what they're even working with.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you'll get a deadlift bar that's torn to shit, but that's the one they're using for comp.
Yeah.
You know, or you'll get an axle bar that's a little heavier than you're expecting. Or sometimes they'll use the fucking branch bars, which are square. Yeah, so you got to grab on them. They're like this. They're like holding on to it like...
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fucking branch axle bar. So you got to try and deadlift that shit.
That's cool.
It's intense, man.
Yeah, like when I was looking at Snap Fitness, they had finally got a barbell. And the knurling was basically gone.
Yeah.
It was... So, like, coming to this gym and you having, like... You had him actually get us a real deadlift bar with, like, new knurling and seeing what that feels like. It boosted my confidence to be able to hold all the way through my reps.
Yeah.
Like, when I was repping, like, that 405. I wouldn't have done that in my old gym without straps. But I could go through it no problem. My hands weren't slipping.
Right.
I was like, that's nice. That feels cool.
Well, it fucking hurts.
Oh, yeah.
That's for damn sure.
learned
But
real
it's worth
quick.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So...
That
was your journey.
training. That's the training journey.
Training journey. All right, so what's your life journey?
My life
So-
journey. Everything else I'm doing other than this.
Right. So
Yeah.
I know you're in college doing that kind of shit.
Yes.
What are you trying to accomplish?
Well, along those lines of just after my brother of trying to do shit, accomplish more with myself.
Right.
I mean, my wife and I are both working. I've cut down a couple days to be able to do my schooling because I'm going to school full time.
Right.
I'm going for a geoscience degree.
Interesting. Geoscience. That's...
Basically everything on this earth except for plants and animals. So, like, I'm learning a lot of weather systems, water systems, rock systems, stuff like that.
Cool.
I love that. I always did as a kid, too.
Nice.
It was just something I've always loved, so I thought, damn it, if I'm going to finish my degree, because I went for a year after high school. I was just kind of forced to go. Didn't really know what I wanted. Wasted a lot of my money. Came back. So now that it's like, okay, I pulled some of those credits over and I'm doing online schooling and going for it. I don't know what specifically I want to do in it yet, but I love all the stuff I've been covering so far.
Cool.
So we'll see where that takes me. My family has a well drilling company, so I might want to go as a hydrogeologist, get like my master's in hydrology.
A well drilling company. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
That would
Yeah,
be
you could.
helpful.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
I would like to know
Liz will
that.
hook you up.
Good.
Liz and
Okay.
my mom, they run the office together.
Okay.
And then my stepdad's the one that owns the company.
Interesting.
So pumps and wells and all that stuff for the area.
Shit.
I used to work with them, and I didn't do good work with the family.
Yeah.
It was hard because I'm more of a technical minded, and how can we do this better to save time and money and effort?
Yeah.
They like to do the whole work like this because this is how you've done it, and do
Yeah.
it like that, or else you're a pussy.
Yeah.
And it's hard because I'm like, I'm trying to help you,
Right.
but it's whatever. That's okay
That'd be hard to work with family, man.
because of that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, cool. Liz works with them fine. She brings both the kids to her office every day. Awesome. But yeah, so I'm going to school full time. I'm working pest control. It's okay. I manage all of our bed bug work, so I go into real nasty places, mainly up in Longview, Kelso.
Yeah. Okay.
All of our property manager accounts, big stuff like that. Liz and I are we own our house. We bought it a couple years ago.
Nice.
From back when we were renting from a guy, and we found out our families knew each other. We became great friends. Me and Jose are still great friends. Jose Cordero, he's a lender up in Woodland.
Interesting. Okay.
He's like, dude, you ready to buy a house? Like, let me show you what to do. So he helped us, like, show us how to save the money and buy a house and get in. So we were like, boom. So we'd been there 2 years. So we were working on our house all the time.
Nice.
Got my 4-year-old and my 1.5-year-old. And they keep us too busy. I don't got time for anything anymore, but that's okay. I like spending every day doing something. If I'm not at work, I'm at the gym, and if I'm not at the gym, I'm doing homework. I'm writing essays.
Yeah.
Like I was last night. I was up till 4 a.m. because I had a huge project I had to finish that's due tonight, but I also got to start my papers that are due on Thursday tonight as well. So I'll just be having a good time. But yeah, just pushing myself. And there's no excuses. I mean, the gym, Forge, is almost 40 minutes from me. I'm in Woodland. That's in Camas.
Yeah.
Some people want to complain that they can't make it to the gym. It's like, well, I don't have the time to drive that far, but I am because it's the opportunity that I need.
Yeah.
And especially, my wife works just as hard with her working full time, and she's going to school too, getting her accounting degree. And her coming into the gym and us bringing the kids with us 4 days a week now. It's rough.
I bet.
Learning how to adjust our finances with working less and almost spending more with the gym stuff. It's a process. I don't really have much of a support system. So sometimes it's funny that like the most positive people like to us is all you guys in the gym.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, it'll change a little bit once everybody starts seeing how serious you're taking everything.
I think
once you start doing some competitions and they're like, oh, he's like really going for this. Like, then it'll change a little bit,
I'd like to think that, I saw a quote the other day where it's really interesting just on the topic of family. It's like someone wants to see you as the version of yourself that they had the most power over. And if you ever try to escape that version of yourself, they will want to push you back into that version.
Yeah.
And so Liz and I have really thought about that, like with how family is. And we're like, we weren't doing so well for a while, just young people trying to move out and learn our own thing. And now that we're doing better with working and school and gym and everything, it's like people aren't always being the greatest, like nicest about it. But I like keep that in mind. I said, Liz, we're walking up the hill. The only way you're going to not get to the top of the hill is if you stop walking.
Right.
That's it, So
That's
we just
mentality.
keep that shit moving.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, especially family-wise, I've dealt with a lot of that shit too. Like,
we get along and stuff, but it's just family.
Yeah, it is.
They'll just do that to you, but you got to have that. Someone's got to be that ass.
Well, and eventually you'll be what everyone else is aspiring to be. Which is pretty cool.
Be a model for my kids, for my little brothers.
Yeah.
None of them do anything with themselves, really. Well, I mean, they do, but they don't push. I think maybe I pushed them too hard growing up, and so it made them not want to do a lot.
Okay.
So I take some blame for that. Like the ones who are, because I have a stepbrother and 2 half-brothers. My 2 half-brothers never played sports. They were never involved in school. And sometimes I kind of notice it, like they'll kind of mention how, well, Taylor's perfect. Well, no, I'm not. I'm trying to help you. Because they're like, well, you did all the sports. I was on the school board for 2 years when I was in high school.
Wow.
I did a lot of stuff. And I thought it would be a way to motivate them. And it's interesting learning, and I carry this over to parenting now too. Just because that was your intention doesn't mean that's how it affected them.
Yeah.
So bringing that over to my kids too, like, it's a process.
Yeah, I mean, and being a parent, man, that's its own fucking thing.
Yeah,
that's
learning.
So crazy. I mean, I got a 14 and an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
Just this 14-year-old's giving me a run for my money right now, man. He's fucking pissing me off a lot.
Hey, he's going through the same stuff you are, though.
I know, and he. I remember me at 14, so he's doing a lot better than me. So that's fine. Whatever. He's mad he doesn't get his phone, but you grounded yourself.
Better things in life. I'd love the chance to not have my phone.
Yeah, I know it's for work now.
Like, dude, that's a blessing.
I can't even say anything about it. But okay.
Yeah, that's personal life.
So, on a more personal level, Liz was talking to me. I had mentioned something about me being snipped in class. And so
She's like, always calling me out, dude.
She's like, don't tell Tayler that. He has his own opinion about that. So I'd love to hear, so I'm assuming you're not going to do it.
Correct.
Right? What's the reasoning behind that?
Maybe it's just like a personal view. Oh, this is hard to explain without sounding like a dick.
It's okay.
It's my personal view on manliness.
Okay.
And if someone else does it, it's not gonna. I know plenty of people who have.
Right.
No problem.
Right.
That's their own thing they want to do. Awesome. Me, I like to be a little more. How to say, like, not natural, but like. I don't know. It's like I have my own personal boundaries on things. Like, I will never eat testicles.
Never eat testicles.
You know, guys will try Rocky Mountain oysters. You'll see Liver King gobbling that shit.
Yeah.
You ever watch that?
I've seen a few of Liver King. I don't like him because he's just lying to everybody.
He is.
Yeah.
Dude's only 5'7". He's or under. He's tiny.
Wow.
The camera makes him look big. He's not actually big. He's just cut.
Yeah.
He's a tiny dude. But I don't know. It's like I got like these little personal things I don't want to do. Like I don't want to do that to myself.
Right. That doesn't sound appetizing. Testicles?
Oh no, yeah, I don't want to. I just don't want to be a guy that eats balls. I don't want to be a guy that's like snipped personally.
Right.
I don't know. I'm too nice of a guy to like.
What do you think it's gonna do to you? The snippage.
Nothing. I know that the science behind it and like the medical side, it's nothing bad to you.
Right. Right.
It's a great idea for people who want to do that. Awesome. Yeah. For me, it's more of a pride thing.
Okay.
I get sucked up in my own personal pride.
That's cool.
But I won't judge someone for doing it because, hey, it's not me.
Right. Well, and you're still 26.
You're not being weird cutting your balls off. You're just, They
don't cut your balls
I know. It's not like a bowl. You're not tying a rubber band on it or anything.
Well, and the thing is, too, so I thought about it for quite some time. And one of the main reasons I did it is because the people like the women that I'm with, first of all, I don't want any more kids. Right? I'm done.
Yeah.
I have a 14
you got a boy, you got a girl, you're good to go.
Right. But at the same time, like, I'm probably just about sterile anyways, with the amount of shit I'm doing, right? So I don't see a point in that, but at the same time, I would want to make sure some contraception is being used, right? I'm not using a condom. I never have, and I won't. Fuck that. Like, I'm sticking my dick where I want it to be.
I agree.
If there's problems or issues down there, I'm not fucking the whole world, right? So I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, contraception, what it does to women, man. Like, really
I know. I talked to Liz about that. I was listening to her on a podcast.
Yeah.
That it's nuts.
Like,
What's accepted and what isn't.
Yeah.
In society. Stuff like that. Like, if a guy is on gear or something.
Right.
You get judged by everyone.
Right.
Oh, it's so bad for you. It's so bad for you. It's like, you look at the shit the birth control does to women.
Yeah.
It fucks them up.
Like, yeah.
Liz and I have had
mentally, physically
conversations just about getting along. And I told her about a podcast where it's like, don't take this wrong, but this lady is doing the same stuff that you and I are always fighting about that you do.
Yeah. She
changed what she was taking. Whole different person.
Right.
Instantly.
It's a big deal, yeah.
Because it was a huge estrogen one. I don't know the science behind all of that stuff, but I knew it was a conversation we needed to have just about us and our relationship. Changed everything. Wasn't her fault. Just the shit you take can just change and mess you up.
Absolutely.
Especially for women. It's so accepted. Especially now, they promote it. Kids are taking girls are taking contraceptives like 16.
No, none of that shit. Like, I don't know, man. Like,
it just messes up.
Right. And that's hard, man.
It messes up your brain.
Well, even the food, women are starting to have just larger breasts in general because of the shit we're putting in our food.
Yes.
There's a whole lot of that going on, and it's frustrating to think about. I thought you were headed to the whole like boys being able to take estrogen or girls being able to take testosterone at like a young age now.
No.
Yeah.
No, it was more. No, it's more of the. It's just the fact that you're seeing younger girls be taking like birth control.
Contraception, yeah, absolutely.
And they're just not
14,
fully
15.
understanding, or the parents aren't fully understanding how much it's affecting, because you're a teenager, you're still developing. Your
Right.
hormones are developing. Just as you don't want a boy taking steroids at 16.
Right.
Having a girl take steroids, because some of those are a type of steroid.
Right. Like the shots and all
There's
that
just
other
more
shit,
science
yeah.
behind it. People need to look for longevity wise.
Right.
We might see a change in the next 40 years with the amount of contraceptives we have now, what that's going to do to women when they hit premenopausal.
Okay. So what's your answer then? Like, what's your answer to make sure that, say, your woman is as natural as she possibly can be, but not having children and keeping things the safest way possible? Are you planning on having more children?
Yeah, we want to, like, we're just going through schooling.
Right.
And so much shit, and we'd have to build another room on our house. But I told her, I was like, I want a boy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep going. I'm just the way I love kids. I would have as many kids as I can afford. Like if I just suddenly got dropped on a couple $1 million and I just retired and I just had all this money, I would just have a bunch of fucking kids. Bunch of kids and a dog shelter. That's all I'd have.
Yeah.
I'd be happy.
I like dogs too, man. I don't know, man. That fucks women up though.
Mm-hmm.
Having children like that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
having more than like 3 is like starting to really fuck them up.
Mm-hmm.
It changes shit that sometimes you can't change back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I don't know.
Nature is crazy, dude.
Nature's fucking insane. Maybe as you get a little older, as you get older, your shit
I'm
will change,
open-minded.
you know?
I mean, I could change my opinion on stuff.
Right,
totally.
and that's good.
Just right now, it's not something I would think about.
Even if you're
whatsoever.
planning on having more kids, yeah, there's no reason to.
Because I know friends from high school my age that are already doing it. Yeah, I got my 3 kids in my house. I got it. I was like, man, I
Right.
could never think of doing that in my 20s.
Well, I also think it's fucking crazy that this guy like interviewed me before I got it done, and it's like, I just want to make sure that we're going to allow you to do this. I'm like, what the fuck did you just tell me?
Yeah, the fact that that is kind of weird to me too.
Yeah, like who are you to tell me
Yeah.
that I can't have a fucking vasectomy when I'm in
Yeah.
here paying you to fucking do it?
Yeah, like I'm preventing problems.
Right. What's wrong with you? What the fuck? It's the same thing. Like I don't know. I think everybody should be able to do with their body what they want
Mhm.
at a certain age. And the reason I say that is these like children deciding they want to be boys or girls when they're not.
Mm-hmm.
That is not okay for me.
Yeah.
Which is, you want to dress however you want to dress. I'm not gonna make fun of you. I'm not gonna say shit. I'm gonna let you do what you want to do.
Making lifelong decisions at that young of an age is inappropriate.
Well, I think
Because the child is a product of their environment.
right.
So if a child's making that decision, the parent's involved in that decision. They
Well,
can't deny that they
making
are.
life-changing decisions, you shouldn't be making those until you're 25.
Mhm.
And that's only because I'm 32 and I'm realizing that I wasn't even starting to realize all the shit I should be till I was about 25.
And now I'm 26, and I think about that like, man, when I was 18, I thought I knew.
Yeah.
And now I'm realizing, God, why am I considering those kids? Am I that old now? Am I thinking an 18-year-old as a kid now?
Yeah.
Transition in life.
It's
Feeling
weird.
old.
Yeah, I feel like you don't start figuring out who you even are between 25 and 30.
Yeah.
You know, and like right now I'm just figuring out what the fuck I even want.
And me, I'm changing. I'm a 100% different person than I was a year ago.
Right.
With all the shit that's been going on. We also got married this year, too. Forgot to mention that.
Okay.
Liz and I, we've been together for 7.5 years, almost 8 years. But we finally got married this year.
Interesting. What made you change that?
We were tired of just like waiting around.
Oh, so it was more of just like just didn't get to it kind of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that you guys weren't planning on doing it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
we
I know
were
a few people who just, I'm not doing that. What's
Yeah,
the
I
point
know.
of that?
And like if they both agree, I can see that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets awkward when one person will say that in the relationship. You're like, "Ugh." No, we're both just been waiting. We were gonna do it a couple years ago, but the lockdowns, we couldn't. We just used that money towards buying our house.
Okay.
We're
That's
like,
good.
that's much smarter. I'm glad we did.
Right.
But yeah, we finally got married
That's
this year
fantastic.
too. It's been a year.
Yeah.
That was a week before my brother passed. It was the week after that he did.
So did he get to come?
We did an elopement.
Oh, okay.
Then the next week he passed away, and the week after that was our reception that all the family was going to. So that was a hard month.
Yeah.
And then now me starting school, 2022 is the fucking year, dude. I'm going to get it branded on my ass, 22.
Yeah. Don't forget it, man. It broke you and it started your rebuild.
Yeah.
You know?
Here I am with an actual trainer.
Yeah, yeah.
Podcasting with him.
Podcasting.
Wow.
You started school. You got married. You got 2 kids. You got a house. I mean, you're on the right track to being everything you want to be, man.
That's right.
It's fantastic.
Took me this long, 26, but I'm glad I've started now.
26 is not that long.
I feel like it.
I know. I feel like every year you're just like, dude, I still haven't done all this shit. But then look at it. Look at other people. Like, I mean, I'm not one to compare myself to other people because I'm unlike anyone, right? But at the same time, like, if you look around at some friends and all that other shit, how many kids in high school are still in high school? You know what I mean? Like, dude, grow the fuck up.
A lot of my friends are like that. Yeah, and it's hard because I'm only, like, the ones who are moved forward like me don't have the time to hang out.
Right.
The ones who want to have no clue what to do, like, around kids or how to just be appropriate.
Right.
And it's hard because then the people we do find are much older, like in their 30s.
Right.
And then they find out how young we are, then they don't really want to hang out. It's like, oh, we're actually 10 years older than you. It's like, okay, fuck you, do then.
That's dumb.
I think so. I think it's dumb too.
Yeah.
It's like we got kids the same age. We're both doing better in our lives.
We're all
Why does it matter?
And I feel like the social maturity is there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what needs to be there.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm not hanging out. Like, I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do any of that shit. Mm-hmm. I also don't give a shit if people do. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the parties we go to, like, they'll have a couple, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also not hanging out with those people who are pounding fifths.
Yes.
Out of the bottle.
I'm totally on board with you on that.
Like, we're not here. We're not all getting hammered. Everyone's having a few drinks.
I had my first drink on my 21st birthday.
Oh, jeez.
I was a rebel, and I waited till I was 21.
I quit drinking 6 months after I turned 21. Yeah.
So it was interesting. I was like, wow. I remember everyone kept asking me, what's it like? Because people just give me shit. They're like, hey, yeah, try this. I'm like, yeah, that tastes like lavender hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
That tastes like apple hand sanitizer.
Have you tried Everclear yet?
No, but I hear about it.
Yeah. That shit'll take your breath away.
I can't even smell Fireball after
everyone had it.
When I was 21. I just can't even smell it anymore. I don't want to.
I've just tasted it so many times backwards that it's just not okay. Yeah.
And I've never smoked anything, never done anything like that. So I've been pretty clean on everything.
Yeah. You seem like a good kid. No, man, it's I went through it all. I did all that shit, you know, and I just realized that, like, I even tried smoking again, you know, later in life, like weed, right? Mm-hmm. And I hated it. I'm just so slow and so just unproductive. I don't have time for that shit anymore. Sure. I got kids, I got a job, I got all this shit. I don't know how people can just sit around and smoke weed all day.
Like, I don't know how to react because, like, asthma.
I have
based
asthma
on stuff I've
too.
had, I feel like it'd be a problem. Like, I can't drink beer because on my 21st I tried beer and it fucked me up.
Really?
And then I started reading about it and it sounds like I have like allergic to the hops.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh shit. Well, okay, never mind.
Try like wine or some shit.
I'll drink like harder stuff. Like, my favorite thing right now would be like a twisted tea. I'll go to a friend's house. I'll have like a twisted tea, the raspberry twisted tea.
I don't know. They went around when I was doing it.
All the girly stuff.
Four Locos were around when I was drinking.
Yeah, the good old days.
Those are fucking. You black out, but you're still going. There's a bunch of fucking caffeine in them, you know. Like, oh god.
So yeah, wasn't really into any of that kind of stuff. Maybe that kind of follows along the line of like those personal opinions earlier,
right?
About some of that body stuff. Is I know I have an addictive personality.
Oh yeah.
And so I tell people like, why would you never try? I said honestly, I feel like if I try that shit, I'm gonna like it. Right. I probably know I'm gonna like it, and then I'm gonna want to do it more, and then I'm gonna waste all my money.
Yeah.
They're like, that's an honest point, Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
a real good point. I mean, alcohol's expensive, weed's expensive, cigarettes are expensive, cocaine's expensive. Like, everything that's good is expensive.
Yeah.
I didn't like cigarettes very much, but I would smoke those Swishers.
I'll be on my own drugs of working out and video games. And
well, steroids are expensive too. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I'm a huge addict, right? So like, I'll just keep going from one thing to another as long as it's keeping me healthy and happy.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it, you know. Like, I'm out of prison. Prison's no fun. So we don't want to do that shit.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly. There's some things like I would, in the right situations, I'd delve into.
Yeah.
I think, like just learning history on, like especially Joe Rogan shows, like about mushrooms, and what they can do for you. I think I see that as more of a natural versus like.
So on
other
mushrooms,
things.
I absolutely adore them. I haven't done them in probably fucking 10 years, right? But every time you do mushrooms, you come back with this whole new outlook on life, and it's always positive.
That's what they talk about, yeah.
And so first of all, what it does is expands your fucking brain until it hits your fucking skull. Not good, right?
Yeah.
Not amazing for you. But,
Yeah.
and then you have to, I would consider...
There's so many different ones out there, though, is the thing. It's a huge
There's a
genre.
bunch of different types, right? And then I would always be with someone experienced. Always. Because what they're going to be able to do is, I remember I was tripping real hard one time, and I started getting in a bad place. I went and took a shower after the pool, which the pool, being outside, fucking amazing. I loved it. I almost died because I cannonballed, and I'm like, bubbles. And I'm like down there, I'm like looking around, I'm like, this is so beautiful. It's so magnificent. And I'm like, oh, my chest hurts. Why is my chest hurt? Oh, shit, I gotta breathe. And then I made it up, and I'm like, and like my uncle who was there was like, dude, you were down there for fucking ever. You okay? I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying I plan on doing that, but like it's more of just.
Well, there's a microdose.
I think about
version.
those things.
Yeah.
Where, just like those are cultural things.
Right.
Like especially.
It's natural. Yeah.
Like the northern, like those Celtic. Northern
the
tribes.
berserker shrooms.
Oh god,
I'd love some of
nuts.
that shit. Yeah.
Some of those things I understand, like especially like Native American things too. I think like
Peyote all that shit.
I think that stuff's cool. I don't think I probably won't ever do any of it.
Well, so I would say if you're dedicating a day to like self-improvement, if you're doing it for the right reasons, you know what I mean? Like I said, mushrooms, you come back every time and you just have this just appreciation for life. Like if you're doing them and you're doing them with people who aren't freaking the fuck out and you're not that person as well, everything is so beautiful. Like you just look at things and like you could stare at this table for an hour and just understand and appreciate. Look at the grains.
Yeah.
This is a year of life for this.
It's not just
tree.
all that
This
mainstream
is
shit that just dogs you down, makes you a part of the system.
Right. I definitely want to do peyote. But again, that's a whole day fucking trip, right? Like I would be going somewhere to do it, you know.
One of my friends, he's kind of an explorer in a way because his dad is a pilot, so he got free tickets everywhere.
Oh shit!
So he just did shit. The cool story, like when I first got interested in that, is because he went down to the Amazon and he met some tribes, and he would visit them. These tribes. He was like 17, 18 at the time.
Whoa!
And so they convinced him to put himself on a shaman trip. And he was not the same when he came back. Not there, like just as in the way he explained, he's like, when you're paralyzed on the floor of the Amazon and these demons are running up to you and trying to slice through you and shit, like you wouldn't believe what feels real and what doesn't. I was like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's some nutso stuff.
Well, so
he documented it and stuff. He was super into it.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go through the story of how I accidentally did a sheet of acid, but it was probably 4 days, like 4 day trip. And the first day, I know I'm on acid and a lot, and so I'm just dealing with it. I figure when you're on acid, that's it. Like you are on acid, and you will be done when you're done. And by day 2, I'm like crying, like thinking I just perma-fried myself. Like I don't know what the fuck to do.
Sure.
So when you start getting into that mode, everything gets bad. Everything that is fun on acid is no longer fun. Yeah. It's terrifying. Day 3 was just horrendous. It was one of the worst fucking days of my life.
You lost your reality at that point?
To this day, every once in a while I'll sit there and think on whether or not, like, did I just get used to it? Or, like, did I come down? You know what I mean? Like, because it changed a couple days of doing it, you forget what reality looks like because everything is fucking moving slow motion or melting or fucking moving around in ways that it shouldn't be, and like
Sure.
you just forget what reality looks like, man. And so it was like, to this day I'll sit around like, I wonder if I'm just sitting in a fucking squishy box somewhere just imagining all this shit.
I'm just your imagination.
Right.
You know, the scary thing about acid is I have a friend where he used to do that a long time ago. He says he's been clean for many years, but the thing is he was driving one day and his neck popped and he lost it. He said he was able to get pulled over and have a trip on the side of the highway, and he says he talked to the doctor and they says because your body stores that
syllabus, whatever it is.
Yeah, they store it in like your spine. And so he says since that day he is afraid to ever pop his neck again. I was like, fuck that, dude, because the dude's big. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He's a big man. He's like, I'm afraid I'd fucking kill someone.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, I'll watch out then.
Yeah, well, driving is not a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove.
He was in a company vehicle, he said.
Oh shit.
So I'm glad he did.
Well, I was driving fucking just home, and I had taken some mushrooms, and it wasn't supposed to kick in yet, but it started kicking in while I'm driving, and it was like fall. Yeah. It was around here, so it was fall, and the colors are fucking beautiful, and I was like, like tripping the fuck out on the way. It was bad.
See, and it's one of those things I would never probably do recreationally. It would be for like a reason, like a spiritual reason. Because I see some of that stuff that is used for spiritual reasons, like the reason why mushrooms are being used by a lot is for something. Like if I went somewhere with a group, if I went out to freaking the backwoods of Iceland, with a bunch of boys up there, have some shrooms and some damn lifting stones, I would probably do it. Some wild ass animal stuff.
I'm into
it's
it.
It'd be a spiritual awakening. But I'm not into recreational anything, I guess.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't do anything recreational either, not anymore. And but if I were to do it, I would definitely take some shrooms, go out to the woods, and go camping. You know, I've done it enough to where I can handle, like, I could make a fire. I could do all that other shit. Like, I can handle myself. I could make sure I ate food. You know, like I did quite a bit of it back in the day. So
that Norse Mentality podcast, once a year, him and a couple guys that have podcasts do that. They go up to a cabin, just the four of them. They do that stuff and record for like a 3-4 hour podcast.
Yeah,
by the fire, and it's super hilarious.
Dude, the fire is just.
It's natural.
It's so amazing.
It's what you're meant to do. Sit around a damn fire.
I can't even explain
not a cell phone.
The beauty of a fucking fire when you're. Like, I mean,
jealous of our ancestors.
Think of seeing every single thing in the world as just absolutely magnificently beautiful.
Yeah.
And then looking into a fire.
See, that's why mushrooms are a spiritual thing. I wouldn't consider them the same as like other drugs.
Right. Yeah. So I love mushrooms too because acid is one of those things where it's just like you take it, then you're fucking high, and then you're high as fuck, and then you're just not anymore.
Because it's meant just for that.
Right. Whereas like mushrooms, you climb up, you peak for a little bit, and then you're climbing down.
And in a way, people do it for a reason.
Right.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I like mushrooms. I definitely want to do peyote. I don't know about like DMT and shit. I don't know about that, but I know Joe Rogan's big on it, and he does those.
He talks about that.
He does those fucking. What is it? Like anti-sensory fucking rooms?
Yeah.
And on like DMT and shit?
That's weird.
Fuck that.
It's cool learning about it. It's like the only kinds of drug that I like think is super cool to learn about too. Because you're like, wow, like how does that affect your mind? Like when he talks about like the stoned ape theory. You ever heard that?
I don't know what that
it's a
is.
Theory of evolution that monkeys, just in a broad explanation, monkeys got into mushrooms and they just kept thinking, and that's what they developed words off of that's how we became what we are, is because they just kept getting high on it. Because they said there's a type of, the scientist was on there talking about the type of like verbal analytics that come out when someone's on certain shrooms. They think that's what happened, that these monkeys took this And then they started getting verbal, and then that's how the first languages were spoken.
Whoa.
Weird. I mean, I don't know if I believe that stuff.
Well,
I just think that's a cool theory.
Having done
It's
mushrooms
nature.
enough, I can agree with that. Just because I know that every single time you have a whole different outlook on life. Every time you
Think
do
if
it.
a monkey just gets into a big old pile of them,
Just trips the
just
fuck out.
fucking eating them, pounds of it.
That's nuts.
Smart as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smart as hell.
I mean, when you're ready, let me know and we'll fucking go on a trip. It'll be great. We'll go up to the woods.
Way out.
We'll find a
yonder.
good spot. Not too far from civilization.
Yeah, you gotta
'Cause
go
you
to
don't
drag me
wanna
back.
get lost. Yeah, dude. Because, I mean, sometimes you will just be like, oh my God, look at this. And then take a few steps. Oh my God, look at that. Next thing you know, you're fucking like,
Whenever I go out in the woods, since I've always been avid outdoorsman, I always tell at least 2 different people,
right.
this is my area and this is my time back assumed. So I'm assumed to be back by Monday. If you don't hear from me by Wednesday, call.
Yeah.
Because just because you're not home on Sunday doesn't mean, like, I had some friends that their car broke down. Everyone's freaking out. They're supposed to be home that Sunday. They came back Tuesday morning because they had to walk to town.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
You're not going to die in 2 fucking days. After the 3rd day, come up for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to know the direction to go, and I'm going to meet you halfway.
Well,
if
I would
need
just get
it.
some GPS devices.
Oh,
I'm
sure.
not playing
I
any
mean,
of that.
fuck, dude. I don't know.
I just don't want to fuck with it, you know? Like, I mean, you can just get lost so
Bigfoot
easy.
will find you.
Good. We'll probably be
Put
friends.
him on shrooms, too.
Yeah, I'm into it. Get an extra little baggie just for him. But,
Yeah.
anyways. All right, last little subject here. How do you feel about, like, steroids and shit? Knowing that just about everybody in Strongman is on steroids,
Yeah.
right?
Of some
It's
sort.
slightly... I always say it's like a prerequisite
Mhm.
for becoming a pro strongman.
It's becoming so much more open, and I love that.
Yeah,
Because I understand both sides.
right.
Those big names, they don't want to tell everyone because they don't want the kid to think that they can't be something if they don't take it.
Right.
But at the same time, I see the other side that, like, you should be honest with people so that way you're not living a lie.
Well, you're not living a lie, and honesty helps people not get hurt.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You
Which
know?
is why that I see that side. Which is why I'm on that side more than the other.
Yeah.
Is because in the end, being honest about it will be more effective
Absolutely.
than not.
And I just have a hard time with the legality of it. Bugs me quite a bit.
Yes.
Because everybody's so against it,
Mhm.
but there's a lot more benefit than there is harm
Yeah.
that comes from it.
That reminds me of another post I saw because I'm always online. It's if it was something along the lines of if Stacy next door can take steroids to become a man, why can't I take steroids to become a bigger man?
Right. I like that.
Like, no shit. It's just all society. That's all it is.
Well, and the thing is, too, that if we were more open and honest about it, you would know how much to take to be effective versus just taking a bunch of shit and hoping it works. And
Yeah.
then going into roid rage or fucking having heart issues or
Mhm.
liver issues, all that other shit. Like, you know, it's definitely not something to fuck with,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's definitely something... I mean, I feel like society would be in 100 times better place if men... as soon as they started dropping off, which is different for every man, right? So let's say 40. Every man at 40 was looked at, talked to about testosterone therapy, and was on it. Because...
You're seeing society open up about that part more, which I
Right.
think is the start. It's going to creep down. It's going to make its way, I think, especially with all that, just with just a lot of current society events going on in
Right.
that field with, like, in sports with trans and everything, you know, all these big movements.
Yeah.
It just helps open up that for people like us too. Like, hey, we've been criticized for this shit like for 40 years. You know, why? You know, if it's acceptable for a 10-year-old to be prescribed test, why can't
Yeah.
a 30-year-old?
Right,
He
well-
wants to be bigger, and he wants to be a bigger man than he already is. Teach him how to do it right.
Right. Like, I think it should be able to be just prescribed, you know? Get actual... That's the other problem, too. You start getting it from other places. You don't know what the fuck's in that. You know, you're just hoping they're doing it right.
Yeah.
So the hard part is you get it from one guy and it's good. You just keep going to that guy, right? Because
Sure.
you're too scared to try anything else. Some shit will make you break out. Some shit will give you fucking rot your muscles. Like,
What was in that
shit.
kitchen sink when he was mixing it?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, so it's crazy. What oil was he using?
Yeah.
Am I allergic to that oil? Is that oil even labeled on here, or does it written with permanent
That's what's
marker?
funny because
Test?
like big pharma, that's a whole other topic. But if they allowed that side to be controlled and redistributed properly, I mean,
You can make
everyone
good
would
money on
win.
it. Yeah.
They'd win too.
Well, it's the same thing with weed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's got so many good aspects to it. Like not just in smoking wise, like the CBD use of it.
Yeah,
has
without the
been opened up.
THC.
Right, has been opened
That's
up
been
extremely.
a huge thing lately.
It's huge.
You don't have to be high to get your benefits from this stuff.
Right.
Teaching people.
Well,
that.
and
Yeah,
then
I
like
that,
the
yeah.
creams, the fucking the cancer benefits from it, like just
My grandpa did that to help before he passed. To help
absolutely.
him live longer.
and it works.
Mhm.
Chemo, that's not a thing. That's fucked up shit.
Yep. While he was on chemo, he still did it, and it helped him. It helped us have more time with him.
I hate chemo. I hate seeing what it does to people, all that other stuff. If I end up with cancer, I may change my mind once I actually get it. Right? It's
Depends on the point. I think. I don't know. It depends.
right. Well, my thing is, I hate to see what it does. I'd rather live a full life to where I was supposed to be than to fucking be like a zombie.
Yeah, you don't
or
want
all that
you don't
other
want
shit.
people to imagine you as just that bald, bloat-faced, tired guy. They want you to see you as like what you
Right.
really were.
I'd rather be lifting and then just die.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
Fuck
it. Just lifting.
Right. That's what I want to do.
Suicide grip on bench.
No, I'm good on
Drop
that.
it?
No, I'm good. No, fuck that. Was doing suicide grip for a long time, and then I figured out where my hand placement needed to be. I put my thumb back under. I saw too many shit. I saw in the gym someone drop a fucking like a 315-pound bench on their chest, and I was like, nah.
I tried it for my overhead press, and it
saw
helped me
that.
align my wrist better. Because I was watching a video from the other podcast I follow, Mark Bell,
Yeah.
Power Project. He was talking about it. He had a guy on there that was doing some training stuff, and he's like, "This is the only time I ever promote anyone to do it."
That's probably the best time
And I
because
was
you
like,
know if you
wow.
lose
So I
it, you
tried
can just
it.
back
I
up.
was like, "Oh shit!" Because like he said, I was holding it way too far back. I'm getting the spring in it, and he says you're losing power. So if I put my hand under it and do that suicide grip, I just stack my wrist right, and I was like, "Oh, I had way more drive at the bottom."
Yeah. Yeah, it's very helpful. It does work well. My thing is with bench. It scares me with bench.
Yeah, there's
Incline,
no way.
decline, fucking just regular bench. Like it should not be used there. That suicide grip is not okay. But overhead, absolutely. I mean, trying to stack an overhead press is not easy to do already. But if you're doing that, it's probably the safest place to do it.
It really, yeah.
You can just throw it out. You
Yeah,
know,
if you
like you
can't,
miss,
you
just keep
drop it
shoving
straight down.
forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, like fuck.
But yeah, on that topic of roids, I'm not against that.
Right.
It goes along the lines of my personal thoughts on the use of drugs,
Right.
where if it's of a natural, or not natural, it's more of a benefit,
Yeah.
because that's what it is.
Well, it's something you already have in your body. We're just increasing the amount.
That's
you know?
exactly. I think if I get, I don't know how far into this I want to get. With
Yeah.
lifting, I want to lift as much as I possibly can. When I get to some high limits, if I'm doing good in columns and I'm feeling good, it could be something I can talk about.
Right, and
We'll
that's
see.
the thing too. I tell everybody until you've hit all of your plateaus everywhere,
Yeah.
and you're just not getting any stronger because that's your body's limit. Don't even consider it. If you're 25 or under, don't even consider it because it does do quite a few things to you. You
Yeah.
know, when you're on cycle, sure you can fuck all day. It doesn't matter. Whenever you want to get hard, you'll be hard. When you're not, good luck. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just not fun. You're in that like it's super weird because normally as a dude, I'm sure at least sex crosses your mind probably every 30 minutes. Like, and that's on the slow scale,
Yeah.
right? But when you're hitting a fat cycle and then you come off a cycle, I can go like a month not even thinking about it. Like it's just not on my mind.
You don't do like a post cycle rehab
I-
or anything? Because I know a
I
lot of people
slow
do
down What I used to do is I'd just be like, bam, I'm on full cycle, boom, I'm off full cycle, right? And then I would just ride the fucking wave, and then I'd get back on cycle. I have gyno, the fucking genetic disorder version of it, so I don't fucking care, because the worst it's going to do for me is just, make me lactate? Great. I'm already fucking ruined.
That's
anyways,
if you have enough estrogen conversion.
Right. And so it's really not something I'm even worried about. So I went like a couple of years ago, I was on like trend and test, and I did the full year. I didn't even take a day off.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was like fucking, and it just didn't really affect anything for me. It's just, I react really well with it.
I'm afraid of needles.
I'm not a big fan. I'm going to be honest with you, but it's actually a lot easier if you have somebody do it for you. That's what got over it for me. I had especially my ex-wife would always do it. Yeah. I would just lay down, and then she would just fucking boom. Like, you're scared of needles, but like, it's usually in your ass, right? So you can't really see it coming.
You get used to it, you know. Just
as
like
you do,
people who have diabetes, like they can be afraid of needles too, but they still got to get that insulin in them.
Right. It's true.
So they learn to get over it. I can learn to get over it, but I don't know. I had this conversation with my dad today. I was talking about test stuff because he's early 40s, mid 40s.
Yeah.
And I asked him like what, because I thought he used to when I was younger. He's like, no, he was actually pretty open about it. He says, I have low numbers, and I have, and I think my doctor thinks I had them since my 20s.
Damn.
And I was like, he never did anything crazy at all. He's always been just eats right and stuff. And so I was like, wow, like that's kind of waking for me, like, because I'm in my mid-20s.
Yeah. And
I know that would be genetic. He's like, yeah, right. He's like, I just too tired all the time. I need to go into the doctor to get more. It's been a while. And they keep telling me. I was like, then do it.
Do it.
He's like, yeah, last time I got my numbers, I think they're like 180, 170. I was like,
damn.
dude. I said, Dad, that's less than like a lot of like lifting females.
Yeah.
I said, dude, what the hell? Why? He's like, well, he said he did the patches, and that worked really well when he was prescribed those.
Yeah.
But
there's also cream now, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just was like, I need to get back on it just because I'm not getting a lot of, because he's building a house right now. And he's building it on his own. So I'm just too tired. I was like, dude, that's nuts. If your numbers are that low.
Yeah.
But I'm glad he was open about it, because then I can think, I know that stuff's hereditary. I know a little bit how that works. I'm like, damn, maybe soon enough. Like, if I'm getting, I'm hitting huge gains in the gym, so that doesn't matter to me right now.
Well, you got to.
If I stop,
everywhere else,
I need to get tested.
Yeah,
I'd like to get a blood work done.
Well,
just
I
to
wouldn't
know how I'm
even
feeling.
if you stopped. Why don't you just go get tested? It's a blood work. It's $40 to get all the blood work you need to get done for that, and it's seriously eye opening. Like, see where your fucking levels are right now. You probably don't need it. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Given the way you perform in the gym, all that.
That's
other
what
shit,
I think about. As
you probably
measurement.
don't. But don't you want something to measure that off of later?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, my numbers were
Starting
here
point.
about 26. My numbers are getting lower, right? And they're getting lower at about this rate. So I'd say every year I'd get tested.
Because it's in-depth numbers too. It's not just your test number, but your free test number.
Everything.
Because there's going to be guys who have 400, but they have way more free tests than a guy at 700.
Yeah.
And they'll be hitting way better. But I know with the strength things I'm getting, I know I don't have a problem, but it is something I'd like to make sure to keep an eye on, because I don't want to learn from his mistakes.
24.
Wow.
Yeah. That's when I realized I really do need to start cycling down. And that's bringing my levels back down over a couple weeks towards the end of it. And that really helped, just figuring that shit out. Because at the same time with that, so if you're looking at it from a technical standpoint, I probably am about 2 weeks off is about all I do. So when I stop a cycle, I cycle down. It takes me about 4 weeks to get down. 2 weeks I'm not on, then I start cycling back up. And I'll just do that. So it's about, 10 weeks?
Yeah.
I'm not on, which isn't terrible. But
I learned about pro hormones back in the day before those were banned.
Yeah.
Back then, because we tried some of that in high school. I was stupid. I admit now that I shouldn't have when I was in high school. I don't have any problems.
Right.
But...
Are you talking about orals or what?
Orals.
Okay.
So, it was a Halavar in oral form.
Okay.
When you're on it, you have on-cycle support for your liver, because you're taking orals. That shit's hard on your liver.
Yeah.
So when you're on it 4 to 8 weeks, and they still sell certain types of prohormones that are still beat around the bush.
Yeah.
You're on it 4 to 8 weeks, but then you need to cycle off for 4 to 8 weeks as well.
Yeah.
And then you need to change you to something else. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so I know that you're supposed to, like, I probably cycle down maybe twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's about where I'm at. Whereas you should be doing it, about twice a year. So you should be 3 months on, 3 months off, 3 months on, 3 months off. That's 12. Mm-hmm. Right? So.
But even at that, you have your on, then you have 4 weeks of post-cycle therapy where you have a slight test boost with a couple other things to get your natural levels, and then you're off for 4 to 8 weeks, and then you do it again.
Wow. Fuck all that. That's too long.
Yeah.
No thanks.
That's good.
So I live my best life on cycle. Mm-hmm. And that's, my energy levels are up. I haven't drinking caffeine in 3 weeks now. I just don't anymore. I have, like, ADHD really bad. So, like, when I do drink caffeine, mm-hmm. I get, like, this insane, like, almost a cocaine boost. Oh, right? Nice. It's nuts. But then I come down fucking hard. And if I don't, like, take a nap, everyone's fucking hating me. Yeah. So at least with this, I have, like, I'm even kilter, sure. Right? Like, just all the way across. And I'm not, like, super energetic, but I'm not, like, tired, right? So
when I was on that, I didn't really gain much strength from it because I didn't idealize my nutrition or anything. It was senior year in high school. But, like, I felt like a fucking superhero.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, too.
Felt like Superman.
This kind of strength that, like, when you're on cycle and shit like that kind of strength is intoxicating. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah,
like,
that's an effective drug because you're, like, completely coherent. You feel like this should be normal.
Yeah. Well, and then when you're off of it, you just feel so weak and so, like, I don't know, tired and just your sex drives down. Like you feel like such a fucking man when you're on it.
Like, you know? I've used, like, different types of stimulants. Like, not just, like, caffeine, but, like, DMAA. You ever heard of that?
No.
It was another thing that was banned.
Cool.
It's one of the ingredients that was in Jack 3D.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's how most people know DMAA.
Okay.
Is the way it made you like, it was weird. Like, I remember how good it made me feel when I took tests. My ears would stop ringing, and I could just, like, hold my breath, and I felt so clear of mind. I aced my AP Calculus finals on that shit.
Wow. Back
then, I just, like, I just remembered everything. My ears stopped ringing. I was just like, that shit was good.
Yeah.
Which, in a way, I'm glad I can't get it now, because I'd still be, like, riding that wave, feeling like a superhero.
It's hard to stop. It's really hard. I mean, you just get so strong so fast, and you always feel like a man. And, you know, like, I don't fight as much as I used to, right? Like, when I was a kid, I'd always be fighting, and it was fucking stupid. But, like, now it gives you that just presence. You know what I mean? Like, I can get out of a car if someone's, like, talking shit, wants me to pull over or whatever. I can get out of a car and scare someone back into their car without even saying a word.
Yeah.
You know, it just gives you that full just, like, when you're going to get in a fight, like, I'm just so, like, you can see the excitement in my body.
Sure.
Just, like, ready for this. Like, I'm just like, shut your fucking mouth. Topic. Are we going to do this or not? Like, like, last time, so I talked about it on the podcast, I don't know if you heard that one, but I had, the day before, someone was, like, cutting me off, and I got around him, and they, like, started following me. We come up to a red light, he hops out of his car, and I hopped out of my car. Yeah. And he's like, I'm going to fuck you, blah, blah. I'm like, you know what? Your friend should get out of the car, too. And he's like, why? I'm like, then you'll have a fucking chance if there's two of you. Like, get him out the fucking car, and I'm going to fight you both right fucking now. And, like, his friend wanted nothing to do with this shit. Yeah. He got right back in his car, flipped me off, and took off. And I was, like, disappointed.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
You know, the gym's changed a lot of my, like, I've always been more passive about that stuff, just with stuff growing up. And so, like, my wife now this gets mad at me because, like, I'm ready to call people out.
Right.
Like, in the store and stuff. Like,
when you feel good?
I just feel good. The gym's made me, like, feel good. Like,
right.
I can lift more than this guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely stronger than that guy.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, but I'm also it's
Changes your
also
body language.
makes me nervous. You know, which is one of the reasons I was in kickboxing, because you need, as a man, sometimes you need that type of outlet. I need to be hit. You know, like I'm a bit of a, I don't know if it's masochist or sadist, one of the two.
Yeah.
Where like I want pain.
Yeah.
I need it. You know, and
Yeah,
so like
it's natural.
I get into a kickboxing sparring and shit. I don't even put up my hands till you hit me a couple times. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like, and I just walk
Never
forward.
felt that.
It's just, that's also intoxicating to just have that confidence of, you can't kill me.
I like that.
You know what I mean?
That's another category of stuff I'd like to delve into
Right.
with all my list of shit, because just like with having 2 daughters,
Yeah.
I know I have to step that shit up.
Well,
Just because situations that I've already ran into in the store.
yeah.
Like we're leaving Best Buy in Jansen Beach. This one freaked me out. This dude was way bigger than me. He was
Yeah.
following weird with our daughter. And I had this thought, so I just was staying between them as we came around. And he kept his eyes on her. And I just kept her a little closer, and he was trying to talk shit a little bit about like my tattoos. And weird shit.
Yeah.
So I just ignored it and followed her to the car. Liz had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's the kind of shit, because I want to have the body language confidence, you know, just to be able to show that I'm not afraid of it, learn something, because I don't want to rely on my clock.
Right.
You know, that's the thing, is just as with fighting, just as having personal weapons, you don't want to use it.
Right.
You should never have to. You know?
Right.
I'd rather be in a situation where I can stop the guy without having to resort to the worst thing possible, because I don't want to.
Right, and I think we talk about that with Nate a lot, which is my focus on guns. I don't like guns because they're death machines. That's all they are. And if you don't see them as that, you're an idiot, in my opinion. That's what they're made to do, is to kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
They're not meant to scare someone.
Yeah, exactly.
They're meant to kill somebody.
That's.
So I get what you're saying.
Yes.
Like, because if I pull my
It's
gun
meant
out,
for that.
you're not going to see it. You're going to hit the ground.
Yes, they say that's the problem. People who have them nowadays, it's just, do not pull it unless you have to use it.
Right.
Never flaunt that shit around.
Right.
I grew up around guns because
Stuff.
we're all hunters. We're
Right.
all target practitioners. We always had stuff. We always had that growing up. So I'm glad I was taught the respect early.
Yeah.
Nowadays, people don't have respect. They just do it because it's cool.
Yeah, they want to wave it around and try and scare
My
somebody.
daughter
with it.
asks about what it is. I explain it. She knows it. She respects it.
Right.
And that's just how I see it. You got to teach them respect for it, or else one day there's gonna be a situation where your kid will be around someone who has one. Is that kid going to learn how to respect it, or that kid gonna cause a problem? You always want to keep them prepared.
Right.
Just to know the honesty in the world.
Yeah, and it's hard too, man.
And I don't want to have to ever use it.
Right, I definitely would rather fight somebody.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
same. And so if I learned how, I'd feel
Yeah.
better. Just break his legs. I'd rather break a guy's legs and end his life any
Yeah.
day,
Right, and
because that's on your consciousness.
well, and a lot of people don't understand the difference when you, like, there's something different about killing somebody. You know what I mean? Like, that is, like you're saying, it weighs on your conscience.
Mm-hmm.
People don't feel that until they pull it out and realize, oh shit, I can kill this guy now. And now they're sitting there waving it.
Yeah.
Don't make me shoot you.
Yeah.
Don't make me do
I have
this.
friends that are cops.
Right?
They talk about that when they've had to do that. A
Right.
few of them, it fucks them up for like a month.
Yeah.
They're
It's
like,
not okay.
I never want, like, this guy was going to kill me if I didn't, but I never wanted to do that.
Right.
It messes them up.
Right. So, I mean,
It's
I
an
think
interesting one.
the only
I
people that
understand
should be waving one would be a cop.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's on their hip. You know it's there already.
Yeah.
If they're pointing it at you, this is your final warning. And they have to give
100%.
you that.
Yes.
Whereas, like, as a concealed carry, you're not going to know I have it till I fucking put 2 in your chest.
Especially when concealed. It's a topic that's been debated for hundreds of years.
Right.
And our country's at the point now where it doesn't matter. Like, there's no changing it. If that stuff ended anyways,
Right.
then only the bad guys have it.
That's right. That's where we're at.
You know,
I
you're
mean,
looking to UK, people are getting stabbed to death. I don't know the exact numbers,
All the fucking
but
time.
thousands of people are dying from being shot and stabbed over there, even though knives and guns are banned. You know?
Yeah.
that's a whole other topic.
Everybody's got that shit. So.
Yeah, I never want to have to use one on someone.
Right.
I want to learn that fight.
Yeah.
Got to get jacked.
Well, the thing is, too, when you look a little more intimidating, people who fuck with people, you have a different gait you walk with. Like, there's just this
the risk
confidence
is
about you. Like, I don't talk shit. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I'm so interested in wanting to fight somebody that, like, if you're talking shit, do it from not within arm reach. Because I'm not going to say shit. I'm not going to, you want to talk shit?
You're going to do what you got to do.
I'm going to be like, dude, if you really want to fight, come closer.
Mm-hmm.
If not, fuck off.
Yeah.
That tells a lot of people a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Like, if you're within arm reach and you start talking shit, I'm probably just going to hit you because usually the person who wins a fight is the guy who lands the first clean one.
Yeah.
That's what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm also not going to follow you to the ground and keep beating the shit out of you either. Once my point's made, most people learn their fucking lesson.
Yeah.
If you get up again, I'll follow you to the ground the next time because you're probably fucked already. You get knocked in the head once and you're wobbly, that takes about 10, 15 minutes to fix. If you're going to keep going, you're probably an idiot. You know?
So being big helps that too.
It really does.
That's why I kind of like that. I just feel better walking around.
Well, and it's weird too. Being a strongman's a different kind of big.
Yeah.
You don't look like when I'm wearing my jacket or whatever the fuck. I don't look that big, but I pull that shit off, and my arms are fucking huge.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a big dude, you know.
Yeah.
And
I get you.
It's a lot more fun that way. Plus, when I start getting mad, I start getting bigger. You know what I mean? Like my
Bruce Banner.
Oh man, my lats
Turn
start
green.
popping out. I turn red real bad. When I get mad, like I also get teary eyed. I'm that guy who's like looks like he's crying, but it's just I'm just so excited.
Can't prepare.
You know, like I'm just like, yeah. But
Got it in your blood, man.
I love it. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, we're at about 101 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. Went a little longer.
No,
than
no,
expected.
I was expecting. I was wondering how the hell am I going to make this last long for him?
No, this is a good one, man. I like talking to you about it.
Getting
We
a
had
student
Justin
in here.
Yeah.
It's good for you to have a student of your
Well,
new thing you're doing.
Not just a student, man. It's good. You're at that. I've been at your point. You got your first competition. You're fucking excited. You're really gonna start actually getting like real. This is real now.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
not just on TV anymore.
It's not just something you were thinking about wanting to try someday.
Yeah.
You've been signed up for a competition. You're going to this competition.
Yeah.
Now, the hard part is not getting hurt.
Yeah.
Right? That is seriously the hardest part from then to now. Or from now to then.
Yeah.
Right? Because you're going to get excited. You're going to push yourself harder than you ever have. But you got to be careful. Because you're going to push yourself harder than you ever have.
Yes.
And there's a very big potential for getting hurt. And you get your newbie gains. You're going to be gaining a lot more right now. But what you got to do is just, stay safe.
I think I'll be able to hit a lot of those numbers. The only thing I think about is like learning. I don't know how a yoke will feel walking with it, or the deadlift ladder. The top number on it is about 40 pounds higher than my max. But I know by then I'll be
not even just by then. By then you'll be at least closer to that, if not there already. But in competition, it doesn't fucking matter. You can probably lift 50 to 80 pounds more than you should be able to.
That's awesome.
In a
Pull that
competition.
adrenaline in. Just on a game, like soccer. I loved soccer in high school. I was fast. I was a fast kid on the team.
Really?
I was a big boy, but I was fast.
Nice.
I was a forward. Practice. You're not as fast, but game day, you can run all day.
Yeah. Yeah, I played for 12 years.
Yeah.
I love soccer. I coach it.
My left foot, I have problems. I always have to play right because my left ankle is fused.
Oh.
So I can rotate my right ankle, but I can't rotate my left ankle. I can only go up and down.
Interesting.
So kicking with my left, stupid.
Yeah. Anyways.
Soccer.
I fucking love it. Yeah, you ever want to do that, you should coach your girls in soccer.
We want to coach her t-ball team this spring. But
It's
now
a
we're
lot
like,
of fun.
fuck, we got all this other stuff on our plate now.
I know it
So we'll
seems
see.
hard, but like, it's so worth it.
Oh, yeah.
It's so worth it.
Can't wait to coach my kids.
Coaching my son's team sucked. It was bullshit. 14-year-old boys don't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
They don't care. They sucked.
They do it for the gram.
No, they do it
take
Because
pictures.
their parents probably made them. I don't fucking know.
Oh, really? Oh,
they just
okay.
suck.
I thought it was
They
trying to
didn't
be
listen.
cool.
They're fucking off the whole time. The girls I didn't know that. I didn't think it would be like that. But the girls were so much more fun to coach. They listen. They want to be there. They're really trying. I teach them how to do something, and they fucking are doing it. Like, it's nuts. You know what I
Gives
mean?
you some satisfaction.
It does.
Too, huh?
It does. I mean, the boys didn't win a single game. That was not really their fault. We had from 12 to 14-year-old boys, and most of our kids were 12. But we're playing 16, 17-year-olds.
That's good for them.
Sure, but at that age, that's a big deal. That's a big difference.
Oh, yes.
Huge. Like, difference between half the team being able to kick all the way down the field and, like, my team, I had 2 kids who could kick it halfway down the field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just a big difference.
4 years from now, they're going to be damn good.
We'll see. All right, so you got any dad jokes? You got anything? No? I keep trying to do
you
it.
keep thinking about that.
And I haven't done one in I don't know how many fucking weeks, man, but
Liz thinks I'm just one giant dad joke.
that's
Because I
fantastic.
play it out.
Yeah.
I just...
I have a
Nothing's
shirt
on
that
my
says
head. I got
dad
those.
jokes are how I roll, and it's spelled with
With
I.
I.
E-Y-E.
Wow.
Yeah. I like that shirt.
Oh, damn.
That's all I got.
I'm too tired today.
It's okay.
I got more homework to go do.
You got any shout outs you want to do? No?
I mean, I talked about Liz this whole time.
Yeah?
She's probably going to eventually one day listen to this.
One
Just to make damn sure I said nice things.
Yeah? Yeah, you didn't say anything mean
So,
about her.
it's just, gosh, her support, she's the only support I have. The
Okay.
only person who actually gives a damn and says good job. So,
That's
it's
fantastic.
all her.
Cool.
My kids are my best friends. They'll listen to it one day.
Yeah?
I tell them that all the time. Myra, you're your daddy's best friend. She's like, I know.
I know.
You see her.
Yeah.
She's lifting. She's going to be a lifter.
She's going to be strong, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to shout out my kids, too, on this one, just because this hasn't been easy for them, you
Mhm.
know, and they're getting through it. Not in the best way possible, but they're trying, so it's
My
pretty
mom's been
fantastic.
divorced twice, so I've been
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah, it's not
And
fun.
I know that side of it.
Yeah, my parents were divorced, too, so it's not fun, but it is what it is.
Staying strong.
Yeah, so this is the Psychotic Strength Podcast. This is Tyler Toby Townsend.
Taylor Summers.
All right, thank you.